You are leaving money on the table right now. Most Americans never ask. 55% of American workers accept their initial job offer without negotiating a single dollar, according to Resume Genius's 2025 salary negotiation survey of 1,000 full-time U.S. workers. And the same study found that of those who do negotiate, 78% walk away with a better offer. Let that sit for a second. 3 out of 4 people who simply ask for more money get more money. Yet the majority of the workforce, year after year, sits quietly and accepts whatever number lands in their inbox first. This is not a confidence problem. It is not a knowledge problem. It is a behavioral problem, rooted in one of the most well-documented cognitive biases in all of psychology. Once you understand the mechanism, you will never approach a salary conversation the same way again. And by the end of this video, you will have a 3-sentence structure you can use in your next conversation. Whether that is a new job offer, an annual review, or a conversation you have been putting off for months. Here is the thing that makes this so frustrating when you look at the data. Employers are ready for this conversation. CareerBuilder research found that 73% of hiring managers say they are willing to negotiate on an initial salary offer. 73%. That means the person sitting across the table from you, or on the other end of that email chain, is already prepared to give you more. They are just waiting for you to ask, and when you do not ask, they do not volunteer it. They move on. The money stays in the company's budget, and it never finds its way to you. Why do people stay silent? The same research identified the top 3 reasons workers do not negotiate. 53% say they are not comfortable asking for more money. 48% are afraid the employer will decide not to hire them. And 38% do not want to appear greedy. These fears feel completely real in the moment, and they are completely unsupported by the evidence. 94% of negotiated offers remain intact, meaning the offer is almost never pulled when you push back. The fear of asking is built on a misperception, not reality, and that misperception is costing Americans an enormous amount of money every single year. The behavioral economics underneath this is well established. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky's foundational research on loss aversion shows that people feel the pain of a potential loss roughly twice as intensely as they feel the pleasure of an equivalent gain. When you are sitting in front of a job offer that feels good enough, your brain is running a calculation in the background. What if I say something and they take this away? The anxiety of that imagined loss overrides the rational recognition that you are probably leaving thousands of dollars on the table. Your brain treats the offer as something you already have, and now it does not want to risk losing it. That is loss aversion at work, and it is one of the primary psychological forces keeping American workers underpaid. But there is a second principle that works entirely in your favor when you do decide to ask, and this is the mechanism behind the 3-sentence script. It is called the anchoring effect, first documented by Tversky and Kahneman, and extensively studied in negotiation contexts since. Here is how it works in practice. The first specific number introduced into a negotiation has a disproportionate influence on where the final number lands. Whoever drops the first anchor shapes the entire negotiation that follows. Research published in the Journal of Applied Social Psychology tested this on 200 students acting as hiring managers. When a candidate asked for $100,000, even an implausibly high number, the average offer that followed was $35,383. The control group, where no high anchor was set, produced an average offer of $32,463. Same candidate, same qualifications, nearly $3,000 more, just because of a number stated first. Harvard Law School's program on negotiation, led by Professor Adam Galinsky, found the behavioral explanation. High anchors draw a hiring manager's attention toward the positive qualities of the candidate rather than toward concerns or objections. You are not just setting a number. You are directing where the other person's mind goes. A well-placed anchor makes the person across from you think about why you are worth more, rather than why they should not go higher. Here is what separates the people who capture this advantage from those who do not. The research reviewed by Interview Guys, synthesizing studies from Harvard Business School and the National Bureau of Economic Research, found that people who negotiate their salary earn an average of 18.83% more than those who accept the first offer. 18.83%. On a $60,000 salary, that is more than $11,000 in additional annual income. Compounded across a career, with that higher base influencing every future raise, bonus, and promotion calculation, the lifetime impact of a single negotiation conversation is staggering. Now here is the structure. The three-sentence script works because it does three specific things in sequence. It anchors with data, it ties your value to a concrete record, and it makes a clear ask. None of those three elements work without the other two. Most people who do try to negotiate skip one or two of them, and that is why the conversation stalls. Sentence 1 is your market anchor. You say something like, based on the current market data I've been looking at for this role in our area, the range I'm seeing for someone with my experience is X to Y. That number should come from Glassdoor, LinkedIn Salary, Bureau of Labor Statistics Occupational Employment Data, or Levels.fyi if you are in tech. Current, sourced, and anchored at the high end of the range you found, not the midpoint. You are not making up a number. You are citing the market, which means you are not asking for a favor. You are asking for alignment with reality. That reframing is critical. Sentence 2 is your value bridge. You say, over the past year, I've contributed X, which resulted in Y. The X is a specific action, a project completed, a client retained, a process improved, a target exceeded. The Y is a measurable outcome, revenue generated, costs reduced, time saved, a metric that moved. If you are in a role where outcomes are hard to quantify, focus on scope and responsibility. The key is specificity. Vague language like, I've been a strong contributor, gives the other person nothing to anchor their justification on when they go to their manager to approve your raise. A specific number gives them a talking point. You are making it easy for them to say yes. Sentence 3 is the ask. You say, given that I'm targeting X, is that something we can work toward? That is it. Then you go quiet. Research on negotiation consistently shows that the person who speaks first after the ask is made tends to move toward the other side. You have anchored, you have justified, you have asked. Now you wait. Here is your concrete step for this week. Pull up 3 salary data sources, Glassdoor, LinkedIn Salary Insights, and Bureau of Labor Statistics data for your specific occupation code, and find the range for your exact role in your metro area at your experience level. Write down the number at the top of that range. Then write down one specific thing you did in the last 12 months with a measurable outcome attached to it. Then write the 3 sentences using those inputs. Practice saying them out loud twice before any conversation where pay comes up. The research from Harvard Business School and the National Bureau of Economic Research found that simply being told negotiation is normal and expected significantly increased both the rate of negotiation attempts and the compensation gains that followed. The script matters. The rehearsal matters. One thing worth understanding clearly, this applies whether you are at a new job offer stage or asking for a raise in your current role. The psychology is the same. The anchoring effect works the same way. And the data on outcomes is just as strong in both contexts. 85% of Americans who negotiate receive at least part of what they asked for, according to the salary negotiation statistics compiled by Procurement Tactics. Most people who try get something. Most people who do not try get nothing. That asymmetry is the entire argument for having the conversation. The single most important behavioral shift from everything covered here is this. You have to go first. Set your anchor before they set theirs. If they name a number first, especially in an initial offer, that number becomes the gravitational center of everything that follows. Once an employer says $45,000, your counteroffer of $55,000 feels large, even if the market clearly supports $60,000. But if you name $60,000 first, backed by data, the conversation starts in an entirely different place. At NextGen Finance, this is the kind of behavioral and research-backed framework we build every video around, because understanding why people make the financial decisions they do is the fastest path to making better ones yourself. If that is the kind of content that actually moves the needle for you, subscribing means you get a new framework delivered every time we publish, applied directly to your real financial life. What has been your experience with salary negotiation? Have you ever asked for more and been surprised by the result, or has fear kept you from having that conversation? Leave your answer below. I read every comment, and the patterns you share genuinely shape what we tackle next. This video is for educational purposes only and is not financial or investment advice. Please do your own research and consult a licensed financial professional before making any financial decisions.